Ben Kuchera, senior opinion editor for Polygon, wrote one of the worst columns I've ever read. And I'm not going to waste much time here with a long intro, so I want to get right into deconstructing it. But be warned, I'm probably going to swear more than I usually do, and I'm going to throw in lots of sarcasm because I think this column requires it. So I apologize for that in advance. So let's get right into it. A letter to my sons after watching Wonder Woman. Talk to your kids about Wonder Woman. Ben Kuchera, you're not talking to your kids here. You're posting an article publicly for which you are paid money and for which your site earns money through clicks. I don't personally have kids, but if I did, I'd hope I wouldn't be the kind of person to use them to make a political point to the public through my writing. You seem to be that person, so let's take a look at what you did here. Wonder Woman is a pretty big deal, and it's something many of us doubted we'd see in our lifetime. A good DC Comics movie. God damn it, Ben. I mean, forget that the Oscar-winning Dark Knight series exists for a moment. What about the iconic Christopher Reeve as Superman? I mean, just look at that handsome guy. Superman, it was a great movie. Alright, okay, maybe it wasn't great, but it was at least damn good. I don't know how old Kuchera is. Maybe he's too young for that classic. So then we still have the Dark Knight series, which, I mean, as I said, it's an Oscar winner. It's getting great ratings from critics and audiences alike. You know how the first chunk of the movie featured no men? It's kind of tempting to think that uncomfortable feeling we both experienced is what women feel every time they watch a superhero movie with a mostly male cast. Hey, Ben, how do you know what women feel? Why are you presuming to speak for women here, Mr. White Male? But the shoe isn't on the other foot, and that strange twist in our guts isn't a replication of anything except our own feelings. What in God's name does that even mean? Can anyone figure that one out? Because I have no idea what the hell he means by that. We've spent our whole lives being catered to by our culture, so having one example of a superhero movie that doesn't pander to our feelings and power fantasies isn't much. We get to go back to the status quo next time we see an action film. Right, like if you're me and you only go to see a few movies a year, that next action film might very well be Star Wars. I mean, yeah, most action movies star men, and most romantic comedies prominently feature women. There's a reason for that. But even so, it's not like there's a dearth of action movies starring strong women, and it's been that way for a long time. At least since Alien, probably before that. There are even recent action movies aimed at women, like the Allegiant, Divergent, Insurgent series, and of course all the Hunger Games. Then there's Underworld, Salt, Kill Bill, Ghostbusters, of course, Hannah, Haywire, Resident Evil, Fury Road, the list goes on. Your status quo, Ben Kuchera, is a whole lot less quo than you'd like to portray. Women don't go to the movies expecting to see themselves in the heroes. They've spent their entire lives consuming pop culture that is meant to make white men like us feel good and powerful. Right, Ben, there has been no pop culture out there aimed at women. None at all.
It was a magical summer. Noah was a country boy. Allie was from the city.
This isn't an empathy exercise because we're a few thousand years away from any kind of equality in society or culture before we're put in the same situation. You know how they say that these people, these radical leftists, they can never be satisfied? Well, there you go. No matter what happens, it would take thousands of years for any kind of equality. Sorry, women, you're going to have to wait a while. This is why we might feel a bit uncomfortable during some parts of this movie, blah blah blah. Now, I've not heard of a single guy saying they felt uncomfortable during any part of this movie, so I'm not sure what's going on in Ben Kuchera's head here. And it's not like Wonder Woman is a new thing, so I don't know why he'd be all of a sudden uncomfortable. She's been around a long time, Ben, since like 1941, I believe. She's been in a million cartoons, and of course there was the Linda Carter Wonder Woman TV series back in the 70s, so this is nothing new. Why is it making you feel uncomfortable, Ben? That's an important question, because if we can get an answer to that, we might get an answer to why you're writing such a shitty column. You don't get to blow this off because it's a period piece, all caps. I mean, you get to blow this off because it's a superhero movie, for crying out loud. It's fiction. This ain't Schindler's List, Ben Kuchera. Then he goes on and on and on about politics and blah, blah, blah. Then, we're not going to change anything. Boy, Ben, you could use an editor. By taking people to see a movie, but we can sure as shit help by inviting women into the room and then shutting the hell up when they're speaking. This is from the senior opinion editor of Polygon, whose job it is to write his white male opinion, who didn't feel it was at all important to quote a woman in his piece. Why your dad is telling you these things? Because you're going to listen to me more than you're going to listen to a woman telling you the same thing, and that sucks. I mean, if that's the case, I hate to say it, but you didn't really raise your kids very well, did you? And you're obviously not from the South or a rural person, Ben Kuchera, because where I'm from, which is a rural area, and I had a dad from Arkansas, and my mom was literally born in a farmhouse. Where I'm from, we listen to our mamas. There's no one in this world I would listen to more. It's kind of odd, isn't it, when you consider how patriarchal and non-progressive the South and rural people are? Because I'm less likely to get attacked online for saying these things in an article, and also because I'm likely to get praise for saying basic facts about our entertainment that women have been saying for decades. Well, Ben, you're getting attacked right now, and it's because your letter is so full of stupid that I just had to write up a quick video about it. I assure you it had nothing to do with you being a man or a woman. Because Wonder Woman doesn't have the luxury of being just a movie. And like everything else in life, it has to be twice as good to get the same amount of basic respect because a white guy isn't the most visible character. Oh, bullshit, Ben Kuchera, bullshit. Wonder Woman had that luxury, and the only thing that's taking that luxury away is radical, quote-unquote, progressives like you. You who are so beaten down by this stupid intersectionality fad that you're utterly incapable of just going to a movie and enjoying yourself. I have news for you, Ben. That's exactly what the world is doing. They're going to the movie, having fun, eating popcorn, then getting on with their lives. That's what they should do. It's only you and your ilk, people who are so removed from the real world and so enamored with San Francisco chic progressiveness that when you fart it plays the Rice-A-Roni tune. You're the only ones who make a big deal of this. And that's not progressive. There's this term, regressive left, and I don't like using it because it's a cliche term, but it fits perfectly here. This column, there's nothing progressive about it. It's just some sad white man speaking for all womankind, trying to show the world how progressive he is by removing any enjoyment from a film in order to make it all about his stupid politics and how he's using it to supposedly teach his kids some bullshit lesson they probably don't give two shits about. Because maybe, by some chance in hell, these kids are actually normal and they can go to a film and they can see a Wonder Woman movie and they can just sit there and enjoy it for what it is. Wouldn't that be a nice world, Ben? You can help make that world happen. It might not get you any clicks, but at least you'd have some self-respect. And maybe you'd get the respect of your kids. This has been Brad Glasgow with Game Objective. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and also subscribe. I'll see you later.